Robots are built to help us, but sometimes they can be dangerous. In this video, we'll explore 5 real stories of the most disturbing deaths caused by robots. These are true and chilling accounts of people who died because of robot errors and accidents. Join us as we uncover how technology turned deadly. It was July 7, 2015 in Ionia, Michigan. Wanda Holbrook, a 57-year-old maintenance technician, arrived at the Ventra Ionia main factory for what she expected to be a regular day. Wanda had worked at the factory for 12 years, overseeing the robotic systems that assembled auto parts like bumpers and trailer hitches. Known for her expertise and dedication, she was well respected by her co-workers. Beyond her work, she was a loving wife, mother, and grandmother. That day, Wanda was assigned to the 100-inch cell of the factory, specifically sections 140 or 150, which were used for assembling tow bars. Unbeknownst to her, a robot from section 130 malfunctioned and entered her workspace. This breached the safety systems meant to keep robots in their designated zones. As the robot entered Wanda's area, it attempted to place a tow bar into an already occupied fixture. In the process, the machine's arm struck Wanda's head, pinning and injuring her fatally. The factory's busy operation soon came to a halt when employees noticed problems with the machinery. They discovered Wanda unresponsive and called emergency services, who arrived at 2:39 p.m. Sadly, she was pronounced dead at the scene. Wanda's sudden death devastated her family. Her husband, Bill Holbrook, was heartbroken. Wanda wasn't just skilled at her job. She was the emotional cornerstone of her family. Her loss left an emptiness that could never be filled. Months later, on March 7, 2016, Bill filed a wrongful death lawsuit in federal court. He accused 5 companies, Protomax, Flexengate, Fanuc, Nachi, and Lincoln Electric, of negligence in designing and maintaining the robotic systems at the plant. According to the lawsuit, the robot from Section 130 should never have entered Wanda's workspace, as the safety protocols were designed to prevent such incidents. Bill argued that the robot's design, testing, and maintenance failures led to the tragedy. The case brought attention to the risks of automation in industrial settings. Between 1984 and 2014, machines were linked to at least 33 workplace injuries and fatalities in the U.S. Wanda's death was another grim reminder of the dangers associated with robotic systems when safety measures fall short. For Bill, seeking justice was not merely about accountability and preventing future tragedies. He strongly emphasized the importance of implementing better safeguards to protect other families from experiencing similar losses. Wanda's life was filled with love, faith, and hard work. She grew up on a dairy farm in Vermont, raised by Dutch immigrant parents who instilled strong Christian values. Wanda later moved to Michigan, attended Calvin College, and met her husband Bill at a bowling alley. The two built a life together based on mutual respect, humor, and shared faith. Her co-workers described Wanda as dependable and kind, making others feel valued through her words and actions. Her selflessness and warmth left a lasting impression on everyone she met. After her passing, friends and colleagues shared stories of how she had meaningfully touched their lives. As a grandmother, Wanda cherished spending time with her grandchildren. She loved simple joys like blowing bubbles, playing with sidewalk chalk, and making birthdays special. Her faith motivated her to spread kindness and positivity, reflecting her deeply held beliefs. The lawsuit filed by Bill also showed challenges in obtaining information about Wanda's workplace. The factory denied Bill's legal team access to the plant, complicating efforts to gather evidence. Despite these obstacles, Bill's attorney remained determined to uncover the truth and hold those accountable. The case underscored the importance of robust safety measures in the era of increasing automation. As industries rely on machines, ensuring worker safety becomes even more critical. Wanda's tragic death is a reminder of the human cost of technological advancements and the need for vigilance in balancing innovation with responsibility. As automation continues to shape the future, Wanda's story calls for stronger protections to prevent similar tragedies. Although her life may have ended too soon, her memory inspires change in the pursuit of safer working conditions. It was May 7, 2016 in Williston, Florida. Joshua Brown, a 40-year-old former Navy SEAL from Ohio, drove his Tesla Model S under a bright sunny sky. Known for his fascination with technology, Joshua was particularly proud of his 2015 Tesla Model S, frequently praising its cutting-edge autopilot system. That day, however, would end tragically and mark a significant turning point in the history of self-driving vehicles. Joshua's adventurous spirit was well known among his friends and family. He demonstrated remarkable dedication and bravery during his 11 years as a Navy SEAL. After leaving the military in 2008, Joshua pursued his passion for innovation, founding Nexu Innovations, Inc., a company specializing in wireless internet networks and camera systems. His enthusiasm for Tesla reflected his broader belief in the potential of technological advancements to shape a better future. On this day, Joshua was traveling along a Florida highway. According to reports, he may have been watching a Harry Potter movie on a personal device when his Tesla, operating on autopilot, collided with a tractor-trailer. The truck, driven by 62-year-old Frank Baresi, turned left at an intersection. The car's camera system struggled to differentiate the bright sky from the trailer's white surface, resulting in the collision. The impact was catastrophic. The Tesla's windshield struck the underside of the trailer as the car passed beneath it, leading the vehicle to veer off the road. It traveled across a field, hit a pole, and finally stopped with its roof completely torn off. When emergency responders arrived, they found the wreckage hundreds of feet from the crash site. The scene was devastating, leaving no doubt about the accident's severity. Joshua's admiration for his Tesla had been clear just a month before the crash. In April, he posted a video online showing the autopilot system helping him avoid a potential accident when a truck suddenly entered his lane. In his post, he called the Tesla the best car I've ever owned and praised its advanced features. This made the events of May 7th even more shocking to those who knew him. Following the crash, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, began investigating Tesla's autopilot system, which is used in approximately 25,000 Model S vehicles. Preliminary findings suggested that the system's cameras had failed to detect the trailer, and neither Joshua nor the car applied the brakes. Joshua's family expressed their heartbreak publicly, highlighting his love for innovation and their hope that this tragedy would lead to safety improvements in self-driving technology. They emphasized the need for progress to ensure such incidents do not occur again. Tesla reiterated that the autopilot system was an assistive feature, not a fully autonomous driving solution. The company stressed that drivers must stay alert and keep their hands on the wheel. Tesla also noted that this was the first known fatality involving the system after over 130 million miles of operation, a figure they compared to the U.S. average of one fatality every 94 million miles. CEO Elon Musk offered his condolences and reaffirmed the company's commitment to improving the technology. Frank Baresi, the truck driver, claimed that a Harry Potter movie was playing on a device in the Tesla at the time of the crash. He stated that the film was still running when he approached the wreckage. Investigators later found a personal DVD player in the vehicle, but did not confirm whether Joshua had been distracted during the incident. This tragic event sparked significant debate about the future of self-driving technology. While autonomous vehicles have the potential to reduce accidents and save lives, they also raise ethical questions about decision-making in emergencies. Developers must grapple with designing systems that can prioritize safety in complex scenarios. Joshua Brown's life was defined by courage, innovation, and a belief in the power of technology to improve the world. His untimely death served as a tragic reminder of the limitations of current self-driving systems and the critical need for driver vigilance. As investigations continued, his story became a pivotal moment in the ongoing development of autonomous vehicles. The hope is that this tragedy will lead to advancements that make roads safer for everyone. It was June 18, 2016, in Cusseta, Alabama, a small town about 90 miles southwest of Atlanta. Regina Allen Elsey, a 20-year-old with a bright future, was on her usual shift at the Agent USA Auto Parts plant. She was engaged to be married in 2 weeks and was loved by her co-workers for her dedication and upbeat spirit. The plant, which supplied metal parts for Hyundai and Kia vehicles, was a fast-paced environment where production rarely stopped. That Saturday, an issue arose on the assembly line when a sensor fault halted production. Regina, trained to troubleshoot problems quickly, entered a robotic workstation to clear the error, a routine task she had performed many times before. However, tragedy struck when the robotic system restarted unexpectedly. trapping her inside. The scene was harrowing, and her co-workers were powerless to help. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, launched an investigation that revealed severe safety failings at Ajin USA. OSHA determined that the company had not established proper protocols to ensure machines were powered off during maintenance. This oversight proved fatal. The investigation resulted in 23 safety violations for Ajin USA and 4 additional violations for 2 staffing agencies. The penalties exceeded $2.5 million, one of OSHA's largest fines. David Michaels, OSHA's Assistant Secretary of Labor, was blunt in his criticism. He emphasized that Regina's death could have been avoided if safety measures had been properly implemented. This wasn't an isolated failure, but a reflection of systemic issues at the plant. Ajin USA, employing around 700 workers, was under pressure to meet high production quotas, which contributed to a culture where safety was often compromised for speed. This incident wasn't the first warning for Hyundai and Kia about safety concerns within their supply chain. In 2015, Michaels met with company leaders in Korea, urging them to address hazardous conditions at their suppliers' factories. Despite these warnings, little had changed, as the drive to meet production targets overshadowed worker safety. Ajin USA responded to the investigation by expressing sorrow for Regina's death and asserting its commitment to workplace safety. However, OSHA's findings painted a starkly different picture. The plant lacked a critical lockout-tagout procedure, a system that ensures machines remain off during maintenance. Without it, workers were constantly exposed to risk. Regina's death also prompted a wrongful death lawsuit filed by her mother. The lawsuit alleged that the robotic equipment was unsafe and that the plant failed to provide a secure working environment. It detailed how safety mechanisms on the machine had been deactivated, leaving workers vulnerable. Ajin USA disputed the claims, stating that Regina had not followed her training and that OSHA had recently reviewed and approved their safety procedures. Despite the company's defense, the incident revealed deeper problems within the auto parts manufacturing industry in the South. Many factories prioritized speed and efficiency over worker well-being. Employees often worked long hours, 6 or 7 days a week, under immense pressure to meet quotas. This environment bred fatigue and increased the likelihood of accidents. Regina's colleagues were traumatized by the event. When the robotic station trapped her, no one knew how to shut it down to free her. A technician who spoke little English could not assist, further highlighting the lack of adequate training and preparation for emergencies. For Regina's family, the loss was devastating. Her mother, Angel Ogle, was especially heartbroken. Details revealed through the investigation, including how long Regina was trapped and that she was conscious during parts of the ordeal, were deeply painful. These are realities no parent should ever have to endure. Ajin USA attempted to mitigate the backlash by emphasizing its support for Regina's family. It covered funeral expenses and provided documentation showing it had trained workers on safety procedures, including lockout-tagout protocols. It argued that it had complied with OSHA standards shortly before the incident. The case garnered national attention, prompting widespread questions about how such a tragedy could happen in a modern workplace. The hefty fines and lawsuits served as a wake-up call for the industry, underscoring the importance of prioritizing safety over production demands. For Regina's loved ones, however, no penalty or policy change could undo their loss. Her passing serves as a reminder of the human cost of neglecting workplace safety. It's a warning for industries everywhere, showing the need to value lives over profits. It was January 25, 1979, at the Ford Motor Company's Michigan Casting Center in Flat Rock, Michigan. Robert Nicholas Williams, a 25-year-old factory worker, was performing his regular duties at the plant. That day, however, turned into a grim milestone in history. He became the first known human to lose his life due to an industrial robot. Robert, born on May 2, 1953, worked as one of 3 operators managing a parts retrieval system at the factory. This system, built by the Unit Handling Systems Division of Litton Industries, included a massive 5-story robotic structure. It featured heavy transfer vehicles with mechanical arms designed to move castings on rubber wheels between high-density storage racks. The system had been experiencing inventory issues that day. The robot needed to give correct readings and retrieve parts efficiently. Robert was sent into the storage racks to retrieve and count parts manually to keep production moving. It was a hazardous task, but necessary under the circumstances. While inside the racks, Robert climbed to the third level to access the parts. At the same time, the robot's mechanical arm continued its programmed routine. Unaware of Robert's presence, the arm struck him from behind with overwhelming force. The impact was fatal, and Robert died instantly. Tragically, his body remained in the shelving unit for 30 minutes before coworkers found him. The accident sent shockwaves through the factory and beyond. This was the first recorded case of a robot being involved in a fatal incident with a human, sparking immediate concern about the safety of industrial automation. Robert's family, devastated by the loss, pursued justice. They filed a lawsuit against Litton Industries, accusing the company of negligence in designing and manufacturing the system. They argued that Litton had failed to include sufficient safety features and did not properly warn operators of the dangers associated with the storage system. After a long legal battle, the court ruled in the family's favor. In 1983, a jury awarded the family $10 million in damages, Michigan's largest personal injury settlement. The amount was later increased to $15 million in January 1984. Litton Industries eventually settled with the Williams estate for an undisclosed sum, avoiding a direct admission of liability. Litton Industries later tried to hold Ford accountable, claiming the company had not provided its employees, including Robert, with the necessary training on operating the system. They also argued that Ford failed to implement critical safety protocols, such as the lockout-tagout system, which prevents machines from operating during maintenance. However, since Litton had already settled with the Williams family, the Michigan Court of Appeals rejected their claim, a decision upheld by the state's Supreme Court. Robert's tragic death showed the dangers of automation when safety measures are insufficient. It became a turning point for industries, emphasizing the need for comprehensive safety standards and protocols to protect workers in environments where humans and machines coexist. This incident tells us that while robots are designed to assist and improve efficiency, the potential risks cannot be ignored. Proper training, robust safety features, and regular maintenance are essential to prevent similar tragedies and ensure workplace safety in an increasingly automated world. It was July 4, 1981, at the Kawasaki Heavy Industries plant in Akashi, Japan. Kenji Urata, a 37-year-old maintenance engineer, was widely respected for his dedication and expertise. That day, he was tasked with fixing a malfunctioning robot, an essential part of the factory's production line. But what should have been a routine repair would lead to a heartbreaking tragedy. Urata had spent years at the Akashi plant, earning a reputation for his skill and attention to detail. The factory was a hub of activity, with machines and robots working harmoniously to produce precision-engineered parts. Though revolutionary for their efficiency, these robots brought new dangers that were not yet fully understood. The robot assigned to Urata was critical to the factory's operations, performing precise and powerful gear-cutting tasks. Urata had to enter a fenced-off area designed for maintenance to repair it. The safety barrier was built to cut power to the robot when opened, preventing it from moving. However, Urata climbed over the barrier to save time instead of using the gate. Once inside, Urata switched the machine to manual control and began his inspection. During the process, he accidentally triggered the on switch. The robot's hydraulic arm instantly sprang to life, pinning him against a nearby gear-cutting machine. The force of the arm caused severe injuries, leaving his co-workers helpless as they struggled to stop the machine. Tragically, Urata's life ended before anyone could intervene. The accident sent shockwaves through the factory. Urata's colleagues were devastated, and confusion spread about how such a tragedy could occur. The incident wasn't publicly disclosed immediately, but months later, the Hyogo Prefecture Labor Standards Bureau completed its investigation and shared its findings on December 8, 1981. The report identified several issues that contributed to the accident. Urata's decision to climb the safety barrier bypassed a crucial feature to disable the robot during maintenance. This action, though likely unintentional, left him vulnerable. Additionally, his co-workers were unfamiliar with the robot's emergency shutdown procedures, further complicating their efforts to help him. Beyond individual errors, the investigation revealed a systemic problem. Japan's rapid adoption of industrial robots has outpaced the development of comprehensive safety protocols. At the time, Japan was home to about 70% of the world's 50,000 operational industrial robots, making it a global leader in automation. However, the speed of technological advancement has created gaps in worker training and safety regulations. Following the tragedy, Kawasaki Heavy Industries immediately prevented similar accidents. The robot was removed from the plant, and taller fences were installed to ensure workers couldn't bypass safety mechanisms. The company also reviewed and strengthened its overall safety procedures. Urata's death sparked a nationwide conversation about industrial safety. Trade unions and labor organizations called for stricter regulations and better training for workers handling automated machinery. The incident became an initiative for revisiting safety standards across Japan's manufacturing sector, showing the need for rules to keep pace with technological progress. For Urata's colleagues, the loss was deeply personal. He wasn't just a skilled engineer. He was a friend, a father, and a husband. His untimely death underscored the risks of working with advanced machinery and the importance of balancing innovation with safety. Though efforts were made to prevent future incidents, Urata's story reminds us of the dangers workers can face in an ever-advancing industrial world.